Oh my god, we're going back to classic Ruby on Nails videos because I did not want to put on makeup, nor do my hair, or put on actual clothes. So today I'm just going to do a voiceover tutorial. This is going to be the comic book nails that you saw in my last Holotaco review. So if you didn't see the review of the Work-Life Balance collection, that's where you can find my thoughts on the individual polishes, and this is where you'll find me using them in a nail art tutorial. So let's jump into it because I need to get started. I'm going to be kicking things off with my peely base coat, and then I'm also going to put a smoothing base coat on top of that because I want to be able to remove these lickety-split, but I also want to have a nice smooth canvas for my lumpy bumpy nails. Now, of course, this does add to the overall drying time of your base coat, but I do feel like it is worth the investment of time, and unfortunately, I totally forgot how to apply it at this point in the video, and things just got a little weird. For this tutorial, I did decide to go with a white base, particularly using Not Milky White by Holotaco, because, Holotaco video, I gotta use all Holotaco, blah, 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 blah. But I am going to apply 2 coats of this. I thought the white would make it really easy to see on the tutorial. However, you can use whatever colors you want as your base, as long as they're contrasting enough with the colors you're going to be putting on top later. I think this would look really cool with a black base as well, and using a white stamping polish so you get kind of the inverse effect. The stamping plate I'm going to be using today is by Maniology, and I'm primarily going to be using these 2 rows of designs, and I'm just going to be layering them a lot. And for this tutorial, I suggest you break out every stamper you have. It'll make it go so much easier because you can do all of the reverse stampings at once. Because if you don't and you're just doing one nail at a time, this is going to take forever. As you saw, I slapped on a whole lot of Neither Noir by What's Up Nails because I'm scraping this whole thing. I'm going to pick up as many of the designs onto my big chunky stamper as you can see here, because I'm going to fill all of those bad boys up. And then I'm also going to do this again. For this particular nail, I was only doing half of the plate at a time. There was some overlap in the middle there. However, you need a little bit of some extras because this is a weird kind of thing. You're layering a lot of stuff, so I suggest just kind of doing 2 stampers worth of things for every nail because it's so much layering. It's kind of ridiculous. The first color I'm going to be using to fill in is Left on Red, and as you can see, it's a pretty basic reverse stamping tutorial. I mean, I think the only thing that is really a tutorial part of this video is the layering aspect, and then, the how to do many stamps at once. That was eloquent. So essentially, I just fill in a word bubble, and then I also fill in a word for every single color. The next one is here for the Payday, and I still love this color, and I would do all of these this color, but that would look a little ridiculous, don't you think? Now, something to remember when you're filling in designs is to make sure you're just kind of blobbing the polish in. You're not going to be making little brush strokes. You're essentially just going to be dolloping a good bit of polish onto your design. And the reason you're doing this is because if you do brush strokes, you're going to end up picking up the design with your brush, smearing it everywhere, or breaking the design, and you don't want to do that because you've just invested way too much time into all of this. And oh my god, you see here for the Payday and board meeting together, it's like they were meant to be siblings, partners, I don't know. They're nail polishes. I don't know why I'm giving them human descriptors, but I have a tendency to do that, and that's okay. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I spend too much time huffing nail polish in this room. I should probably stop doing that. Nah. Next up, I used Work Bestie to just repeat the entire process again. Fill in one word bubble, fill in a word, and so on and so forth, because that is the way of this. You're essentially just making a whole lot of stickers that you're gonna just put on top of each other. These are going to be kind of layered on top of each other, so it's best to have a whole lot of extras so you can play around with like colors and like what color would look best on what other color, and like what words you want on your nails, and so on and so forth. Next up, I'm going to be using Butterscotch Hop because I think this is just kind of the perfect yellow for pop art. It has like a orangey enough tone to kind of have that old comic book paper feel to it. You know, it's a little dingy, it's a little, you know, tinted from time and all of that kind of stuff. But, you know, same thing. Fill in a word bubble, fill in a word, so on and so on and so on, because this is never ending and you have 10 fingers. Oh, thank God we've gotten to the last one. I'm just going to take a little dollop of not milky white and fill in a word, because I thought the white actually looked really good on top of most of these colors, and it was kind of a nice contrast to these brights, and yeah, you get it. Okay, so put on some clear base coat on your nail so these things stick to you, and then we'll get to the stamping part, and you'll see how it can be a little bit hard to put everything on 2 stampers, but you know what, it's gonna be fine. If we accidentally pull off a design, shit happens. Now that we got our sticky fingers, we're gonna carefully place each little word bubble. So my kind of process was place a word bubble and then put a word on that word bubble, and in between each placement, you're just going to kind of smooth things out and gently place things. For this, I used the just black words as kind of these fillers in between things. And as you can see, I'm trying to line things up, and you just saw me switching from my round stamper to my square stamper because I thought the purple what the fuck would look really good on the red, and explaining that in words just sounded a little weird just now. But then I'm also going to be placing my next word bubble. It's okay if some of these things overlap. That's kind of the great thing about this look. So if you accidentally, you know, cover half of your bang with a neon green word bubble, whatever, it's fine. We'll put a different bang somewhere. Just make sure that you're tapping everything down and make sure it's firmly in place, because you can kind of run into some bumps along the way if you're not smoothing things out in between. And maybe you're into that, but personally, I like to have my nails to be fairly smooth. That's just me. But yeah, the nice thing about this particular design is that they were spaced out fairly well on the plate, so accidentally placing something that you don't want was kind of rare. I mean, you do need to be very careful, and I suggest that you get stampers that you can see all the way through. I know that first round stamper is just covered in paint in the back, but I could see through it, so it's fine, you know. It totally doesn't matter that I'm showing this as a nail art tutorial. It'll probably help you as a viewer, but you know what? Whatever. Definitely my favorite thing about this tutorial is that each nail is going to look different. I mean, you can take the time to do everything uniform, but I like how it looks different on every single nail because I think it gives it kind of a complicated aesthetic. And once you are done with your word placement, go ahead and slap a glossy top coat on top of that. Today I'm using super glossy top coat by Holotaco. It's the Holotaco blah, blah, blah. But I really like this look as both glossy and matte. You're going to see the matte in just a second after I can figure out how to apply top coat, because apparently I forgot how to do that too. But you know what? It's just one of those weeks. So, well, I'll just struggle in front of you. How about that? But once that is on, you are done, or you could take the next step to do it matte. I don't know. It's up to you, baby. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, and if you like my videos, make sure to subscribe. I know this video was a little bit different than usual, but I hope that's okay because I'm not doing it any other way. Bye-bye!